She swore she was at her mom's all weekend, but her phone auto-uploaded a video to our shared cloud. I watched it twice just to be sure it was him. There was no mistaking the voice. Or the tattoo. Or the way he pulled her hair like that. It was him, my best friend since the 3rd grade. And she was laughing. Like it was all a joke. Like none of it meant anything. I was sitting in the Delta Sky Lounge at Hartsfield-Jackson waiting for my flight back from a 3-day corporate retreat in Atlanta. It was supposed to be team building, strategy sessions, all that junk upper management thinks actually motivates people. I was tired, hungover from 2 nights of fake laughter and overpriced bourbon. I opened my laptop to clear out some emails before boarding. And there it was. vid_2025005_2132.mp4. I clicked it without thinking. I assumed it was one of Lana's videos, probably another one of her mom's cats doing something ridiculous. She always sent me stuff like that when I traveled. A way to stay connected. But this one was different. The frame was dark at first, the camera facing the wall. Then it shifted. Someone had set the phone on the edge of the nightstand accidentally, it seemed. Maybe it was recording without them realizing. But the angle was perfect. Too perfect. There she was. Lana. In our bedroom. Her shirt half off, hair in a messy bun. And then Nick came into the frame, laughing. Shirtless. Wearing my old Asheville Brewing Company t-shirt, the one she always said smelled like home. I couldn't breathe. They didn't speak much. Just laughing. Kissing. Her whispering something I couldn't hear. And then, as he pulled her back onto the bed, I heard it. You know he's gonna find out eventually, right? She just laughed again and said he still thinks I'm at my mom's. Then she reached over and turned the camera off. I stared at the file. My hands started shaking. I closed the laptop, then opened it again. Watched the whole thing over. Twice. Just to be sure. I sat there, completely numb, surrounded by businessmen on Bluetooth calls and flight attendants calling out boarding zones like nothing had happened. She swore she was at her mom's. Said she needed a quiet weekend. Time to decompress. Her mom lives about 40 minutes out, poor Wi-Fi, no cell service half the time. I didn't think twice. I trusted her. We'd been together for 6 years. Married for 3. We had routines, rituals, a rhythm. Date nights on Fridays. Coffee and crossword Sundays. Couples therapy even, not because things were broken, but because we wanted to stay in tune. Lana was smart like that. Intentional. Thoughtful. Or so I thought. I got up, walked into the airport bathroom, and threw up in the sink. The rest of the flight home was a blur. I kept imagining how I'd confront her. Would I show her the video? Just say, "Nice job, babe, the cloud saw everything"? Would I scream? Cry? Instead, I did none of that. I got home around 1 p.m. She wasn't back yet. I sat on the edge of the bed, the same bed I'd just seen them in, and stared at the wall. That's when her text came through. "Morning, babe. Heading back soon. Traffic looks bad, yellow heart." She still thought I didn't know. Still thought she was in control. I didn't respond. I just waited. The key turned in the lock at 1:47 p.m. She walked in like she owned the world. Sunglasses on her head, grocery bag dangling from one hand, her duffel over the other. "Hey," she sang. "Sorry I'm late, Mom wanted to make brunch, and you know how she is when She stopped when she saw me. I was still sitting on the edge of the bed in the same spot I'd been for the past hour. Still in my travel clothes. Still staring at the wall like it owed me something. She blinked. "You okay?" I looked up. I saw the video. Her lips parted. Confusion. Then understanding. Then fear, just for a flicker, like a shadow moving across her face. She tried to cover it with a smile. What video? There it was. The smile that lied. That stupid, soft voice. That little head tilt she used when she pretended to be innocent. I felt something inside me snap. "Don't do that," I said. My voice came out lower than I expected. "Don't play dumb." The video auto-uploaded to our cloud. I saw everything. She didn't speak. Her fingers tightened around the strap of her bag. Her eyes darted left, like she was trying to locate the nearest exit in case she needed to run. "Say something," I said. "Derek," she sat the bags down. "I didn't mean for you to, it was a mistake." "A mistake," I repeated like I was tasting the word for the first time. "So you accidentally had sex with my best friend. In our bed. While I was in Atlanta. And accidentally laughed about how I'd never find out." Her jaw tensed. "It wasn't like that." "Oh? Then what was it like?" I stood now. Because from where I'm sitting, it looked pretty intentional. She didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, "I didn't know the video was recording." "I swear." "That's what you're sorry about?" I asked. That you got caught? Silence. Not the cheating. Not the betrayal. Just the text settings on your phone. Her voice cracked. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Didn't mean for it to go that far, I echoed. Jesus, Lana. You made a pillow fort out of my clothes. That one hit her. She blinked hard. Her shoulders slumped. I should have screamed. I should have thrown something. But all I felt was cold. This wasn't a one-time thing, was it? She didn't answer. I stepped closer. How long has it been going on? She swallowed. 3 months. 3 months, I repeated. 3 months of lies. 3 months of her leaving for girl nights and family errands. 3 months of Nick telling me he was swamped or burned out, too tired to grab a beer or hang out. Every excuse suddenly made sense. Every moment I thought I was paranoid. I wasn't paranoid enough. She started crying. Big, silent tears rolling down her cheeks. But I felt nothing. No pity. No urge to comfort her. You said you were staying at your mom's this weekend, I said. Did you even go there? She shook her head. My chest hurt. Like I'd been sucker punched. I walked past her, down the hall, into the kitchen. She followed like a shadow. I never meant to hurt you, she said. I turned. You picked him, Lana. My best friend. The guy who helped me build this house. Who held the ring when I proposed. Her voice was barely audible. I didn't plan it. But you didn't stop it. I stared at her for a long time. Then I walked over to the drawer, pulled out the garage remote, and said, You have 1 hour to get your things and leave. She didn't argue. She packed in silence. No begging. No bargaining. Maybe she knew it was useless. Maybe she knew the look on my face wasn't a bluff. Nick texted me that night. I'm sorry, man. I messed up. I hate myself for it. I don't expect forgiveness, but I hope we can talk. I turned my phone off, and for the first time in 3 days, I finally slept. Not well, but I slept. The next morning, the house felt different. Empty. Quiet in a way I hadn't heard in years. No hairdryer humming through the bathroom wall. No clinking dishes in the kitchen. Just birds outside and the low hum of the fridge. Lana was gone. She didn't say goodbye. Didn't slam the door. She just left like a thief who knew the alarm was finally going off. The bed was half-made, her sides still warm when I woke. Her closet was gutted. Her favorite mug still on the drying rack. She'd taken the essentials and left everything sentimental. I stood in the doorway and felt nothing but exhaustion. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just made coffee, sat at the kitchen island, and opened my phone to scroll through the cloud again. I found 6 more videos. Most of them were seconds-long clips she must have accidentally recorded while switching apps or flipping the camera. But one stood out. March 18th, 2 minutes, 32 seconds. I watched it. She was sitting in the passenger seat of Nick's car. Smiling. Wind in her hair. They were parked somewhere wooded, sun streaming through the windshield. Nick said, You ever think about telling him? Lana replied, Sometimes. But I think he'd break. Then she giggled. Break. Not get angry. Not fight. Just break. That's what they thought of me. A fragile, predictable idiot. By 11 a.m. I was in my truck. I drove to Nick's apartment, an old walk-up above a barbershop. I'd helped him move in 3 years ago when his ex bailed on him mid-lease. He wasn't expecting me. His face when he opened the door said everything. Guilt, fear, embarrassment. Derek. Don't talk, I said. He stepped aside. I walked in. The place was a mess. Pizza boxes. Socks. One of Lana's sweaters on the back of the couch. So she'd been here too. I turned to him. How long? He didn't lie. Not this time. Started in February. First time was after your birthday. My birthday. The night Lana said she was too tired to go out. The night Nick said he had a migraine. I nodded. Why? He opened his mouth. Closed it. Then said, I don't know. No, I snapped. You don't get to hide behind I don't know. You were my best man, Nick. I was drunk. So was I 100 times. I didn't screw your fiancé. He rubbed his face. It wasn't supposed to happen. Yet it kept happening. He looked broken. But I didn't care. You've been in my life longer than anyone. You know what I've been through. You know I don't let people in easy. And you, my throat caught. You waited until I trusted you the most to stab me in the back. I didn't mean to. I slammed my fist into his wall. He flinched. Good. You don't come back from this, I said. He didn't reply. I turned to leave. As I opened the door, he said, She told me she loved me. I paused. Just for a second. Then I walked out. I didn't tell anyone for the first few days. Not my brother. Not my coworkers. Not even my mom. I just said Lana was staying with her mom for a while. Work stress. Space. But word spreads. Fast. By the end of the week, I started getting check-in texts from mutual friends. Two of them already knew. One had seen Lana and Nick at a bar 2 weekends ago. Another said I didn't want to say anything but. Of course, they always didn't want to say anything. Sunday afternoon, I got a knock on the door. It was Lana. Hair down. No makeup. Hoodie and jeans, the soft version she always wore when she wanted to reset things. "I'm not here to beg," she said. "I just want to talk." I let her in. She stood in the living room like it was unfamiliar. Like the space had changed just enough to remind her it wasn't hers anymore. "I made a mistake," she said. "I know that doesn't fix anything." "You made 100 mistakes," I replied. She nodded. "You're right." There was a long silence. Then she said it. "I don't want him." That caught me off guard. "I don't love him," she continued. "I don't even know why I did it. I think I was trying to break something before it broke me." I laughed bitterly. "That doesn't make sense." "I know," she whispered. "But it's the truth. I didn't forgive her. But I didn't throw her out either." I just stood there, watching her cry softly into her sleeve, and realized something terrifying. I didn't miss her. Not even a little. I thought she came to apologize. But what she really came for was him. That's the part one hadn't told anyone yet. Not my brother. Not my therapist. Not even myself, really. I thought Lana was here to say sorry. To give me closure. But an hour after she left, I found her phone still on the coffee table, and the text that was still glowing on her lock screen made my blood run cold. "So? Did he throw you out, or is phase 2 a go?" "Nick. Phase 2. Phase. Freaking 2. They weren't just cheating. They were planning something." I unlocked her phone. Yes, I knew the code. Same one she used for our Netflix account. And what I found? It wasn't just betrayal. It was a blueprint. There were dozens of messages. Screenshots of our mortgage docs. Photos of my signature on loan papers. A list of my work travel dates. A draft email to a divorce attorney. And worse, notes about my mental state. Things like, "Derek's been withdrawn lately. He talks to himself more now. He forgets where he puts things." She was building a case. Laying a trail. Trying to make me look unstable. My mouth went dry. I scrolled faster, my hands shaking. One thread was between Lana and someone named Melissa B. I recognized the name, her old college roommate, now a junior paralegal. Lana had messaged her. "If we can prove he's not emotionally fit, maybe we can keep the house." Melissa's reply? "Judges love the calm ones. Play it cool. Smile. Journal everything." I dropped the phone like it burned. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed on the couch with every light on. Not because I was scared, but because I couldn't tell what scared me more, that she betrayed me. Or that she was calculating. This wasn't an affair. This was a long con. One where love was a weapon and trust was the bait. The next morning, I took action. I called a lawyer, someone my brother had used during his divorce. Tough as nails, low on small talk. I didn't even give her the full story. Just enough for her to say, "Start collecting everything. Every login. Every shared bill. Get your name off anything you don't want her touching." I did just that. In 48 hours, I had removed myself from the joint credit card, frozen the home equity line, transferred every cent from our shared savings into a protected individual account, pulled security footage from our doorbell cam of Nick entering while I was gone. I even logged into our Amazon account and downloaded the order history. She'd bought new sheets the night after I left for Atlanta. Let that sink in. She planned to sleep with him in my bed and decided the sheets should be fresh. Then came the real twist. Thursday evening, someone knocked. It wasn't Lana. It wasn't Nick. It was Nick's girlfriend. Yeah. Turns out he'd been dating someone else too. Her name was Claire. Petite, sharp, dark hair, and the angriest eyes I'd ever seen. She looked like a woman who'd driven too far with too little sleep just to burn someone's life to the ground. "You Derek?" she asked. I nodded. She handed me a manila folder. "He told me I was the only one. Turns out he's been screwing your wife behind my back." I opened the folder. Screenshots. Messages. Hotel receipts. Photos. Claire had done her homework. "I found your address through his phone," she said. "He was asleep. I took a picture of your wedding invite." I was speechless. "I'm done with him," she said. "But if you ever want to take them both down, you have my number." Then she got in her car and drove off. I stood in my driveway holding evidence I didn't even ask for. Suddenly, everything felt winnable. They thought they were pulling strings. Manipulating. Playing the long game. But they forgot something. I might be quiet. I might be loyal. I might be slow to anger. But I don't lose. Not like this. Not to them. I didn't text Lana. I didn't threaten Nick. I didn't even post anything online. I just waited. Because the thing about people like them, liars, manipulators, cheaters, is they always assume they're smarter than the person they betrayed. But all I needed was one crack in their plan. And they gave it to me on a silver platter. The following Monday, Lana called. First time since she'd left. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. Then texted. Can we please talk? Something's wrong with the bank. There it was. The moment she realized I wasn't just sitting in the wreckage waiting for her return. I texted back 2 words. Figure it out. 5 minutes later, another message. Did you do something? Our joint savings is empty. Not our savings anymore. I'd already transferred every dollar into a protected account under my name, created before marriage, tied to a trust my grandfather left me. The kind of account no divorce lawyer could touch without serious effort. And even then, they'd need evidence I committed fraud. Which I didn't. I was protecting myself. She followed up with a paragraph of confused, faux-concerned crap. This is crazy, Derek. Why are you doing this? We can still figure things out. We're just going through something hard. Please don't make this worse. I laughed out loud reading it. Make this worse. She had sex with my best friend on camera and outlined a plan to paint me as mentally unstable. I was just finally playing at their level. That night, I sent one text. To Claire, Nick's now ex-girlfriend. Still interested in taking them down? She replied immediately. We met at a 24-hour diner 2 towns over. She brought a red folder this time. Inside, screenshots of Nick begging her to stay, more hotel receipts, even a hidden audio recording of him admitting Lana came onto him first. And then the golden ticket, a screen recording of Nick bragging in a group chat that he'd finally taken Derek's spot. And that, she moans louder for me anyway. Nice. I added that to my stash, along with every phone bill, location tag, text, and video I could legally acquire. Then I sent one email to a lawyer Lana didn't know I'd hired. It was short. Subject, initiate. By Friday, she was served. At work, with her co-workers watching. I wasn't trying to humiliate her, but I also wasn't protecting her anymore. 2 hours later, I got a voicemail. Lana crying. I don't understand. You really filed? You didn't even talk to me. You're just throwing away everything. I saved the message. Didn't reply. An hour after that, Nick texted. Real mature. Hope you're happy. I didn't respond to him either. Not until Sunday. That's when I uploaded their video, to a secure Google Drive folder and sent it to him with the caption. Thought you might want to see what betrayal looks like from the outside. His response. None. Just a scene at 8:03 p.m. Over the next week, the dominoes started falling. Lana moved into a short-term rental. Her lawyer tried to push for mediation, but mine sent over a list of demands so thorough and cold, it shut that idea down fast. The house? Already being refinanced under my name alone. The accounts? Locked. The emotional damage? Still healing, sure, but the power? Back in my hands. And the best part? Lana tried to accidentally run into me outside the grocery store. I was picking up beer. She had wet hair, no makeup, a hoodie that didn't fit right. She looked tired, smaller than I remembered. Hey, she said softly. I nodded. Lana, you look good, she said. I am good, I replied. She looked at the ground. I just wanted to say, I didn't mean for it to end like this. I tilted my head. But it didn't end, Lana. She looked confused. I leaned in. You ended it the minute you chose him. Then I walked away. Back in the truck, I sat for a moment, watching the rain start to hit the windshield. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled. Not because I'd won, but because I didn't need her to lose anymore. It's been 7 weeks since she walked out of our house. 11 days since she tried to walk back in. And 3 hours since I got the last text I'll ever get from her. Do you ever think about what we had? Yes, I do. But not the way she thinks. I don't think about the vacations or the Sunday crosswords. I don't think about our wedding song or the way she'd steal the covers at 3 a.m. I think about the silence. the practiced lies, the way she could cry without feeling it, the way I could feel everything and still say nothing, and how somehow that was love. Until it wasn't. The divorce finalized this morning. It took exactly 38 minutes. My lawyer nodded, papers were signed, and just like that, 6 years collapsed into signatures and polite goodbyes. Lana wasn't there in person. She signed remotely. That felt right. Cold, distant, disconnected. Fitting for a marriage that died the moment she hit record. After the hearing, I didn't go home. I drove up the mountain. There's a spot I found last fall. Back when things were still pretending to be okay. A clearing with a wooden overlook. You can see the whole town on a clear day. The way the light hits the rooftops. How the trees split open around the river like veins. I brought a folding chair, a six-pack, her wedding ring, sat there for hours, not crying, not angry, just quiet, just breathing. For the first time in what felt like years, that's when my phone buzzed. It wasn't Lana. It was Claire, Nick's ex, my accidental ally. Guess what? She wrote. He's alone. Said he doesn't feel safe seeing people anymore. His boss found out about the affair. Fired. I stared at the screen, then texted back. I thought he took my place. Apparently he wasn't very good at keeping it. She replied. I almost laughed, but I didn't feel joy. I just felt done. Done with revenge. Done with pity. Done with people who see loyalty as leverage and love as a loophole. Later that night, I went home. I passed by the old wedding photos on the shelf. Noticed for the first time that I wasn't smiling in most of them. Why hadn't I noticed that before? Maybe because when you're surviving, you're too busy clenching your teeth to notice you're not really breathing. The next morning, I packed a box. The last one. Inside, the wedding album, her old hoodie, the ring, the cheap wine glasses we never replaced. I taped it up, wrote one word on the front, return. Then I dropped it off at the address she gave the court. No note inside, no message, no bitterness. Just wait. Let her carry it for once. That afternoon, I changed my number, deleted the shared cloud, reset every password. Not out of fear, but because this wasn't our life anymore. It was mine. And here's the twist, the one no one saw coming. I'm not broken, not even close. I started going to the gym again. Took a solo trip to Colorado. Started a side hustle restoring vintage guitars. I laugh now. I sleep. I breathe. Sometimes I still think about it, the betrayal, the video, the lies. But I don't let it define me anymore. It happened. It hurt. And then I healed. A friend asked me the other day, if she came back tomorrow and begged, would you? I shook my head. Not out of spite, but because I've already been through the fire. And I walked out the other side cleaner than I went in. Lana and Nick thought they lit the match. But they forgot one thing. You don't destroy a man who's already rebuilding himself. You just remind him why he started. Thank you all for listening. I'm not who I was, and I'm never going back.